you guys need to do to get some consistency?
Man, I think that everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt.
Sophie Cunningham is saying, you know what, Stephanie White, your damn motion offense worked when Kaitlyn ain't here, but when Kaitlyn's here, we need something else, dog.
Just clicking, but now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much.
Y'all heard her. She said we got to have a new offense.
Sophie Cunningham doesn't usually bite her tongue, and this time she may have just set off a storm the Indiana Fever weren't ready for. After yet another frustrating loss that exposed glaring issues in the Fever's offensive system, the Phoenix Mercury guard didn't hold back. When asked about her thoughts on Indiana's recent struggles, she gave an answer that was more candid, more brutal, and more telling than anyone expected. They're talented, she started. They've got Clark, they've got shooters, they've got a solid post presence. But their offense? It's chaos. It's not designed to win. It's designed to hope something works. And just like that, a veteran in the league said what many fans had been thinking for weeks but were too afraid to say out loud. This wasn't some anonymous scout taking shots behind a paywall. This was a rival player, a starter, a competitor who's faced Indiana multiple times this season and has watched the evolution, or lack thereof, of a team loaded with potential but unable to convert it into results.
Tatum herself that they run a read and react offense. You know what that is? The ball's in Kaitlyn's hands. Stuck in Indiana for some years, dog. And I'm here to tell you, they have to fix this offense, and I'm not the only one that feel this way.
How does Kaitlyn specifically, do you think, handle that?
I have no idea. You got to ask her. That girl's brain is different, so that's all on you.
Sophie Cunningham has made a career of being vocal and unapologetically direct, but this wasn't just another hot take. This felt different. It felt like a red flag for a franchise that thought it was building something special. And it came at the worst possible time. Kaitlyn Clark's arrival was supposed to fix everything. She was the most hyped rookie since Diana Taurasi. Ticket sales exploded, national broadcasts followed. Even neutral fans tuned in just to see her play. But behind all the noise and optimism was a harsh reality. The Fever were still a team without an identity.
Give the damn ball to Kaitlyn. Whatever offense we running right now, it is not working. You have to give the ball to Kaitlyn. Sophie Cunningham went on the record to basically say what I've been saying and everyone else. Now, I know some people might want to say Kaitlyn Clark was off the ball somewhat at Iowa. She was a little bit in years past.
And that's what Sophie was pointing at. You watch them and you wonder, what are they trying to do? Cunningham continued. They have no pace, no rhythm, and when Clark doesn't have the ball in her hands, everything falls apart. It's like watching 5 people play 5 different games at once. The reaction was immediate. Some fans accused her of being salty, a typical Mercury veteran taking shots at the new media darling, but others, many others, agreed. Because no matter how much you love Clark or want the Fever to succeed, the stats don't lie. Indiana has consistently ranked near the bottom in offensive efficiency. They struggle to get into sets. They rely heavily on individual talent to bail them out.
You guys need to do to get some consistency?
Man, I think that everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt.
Sophie Cunningham is saying, you know what, Stephanie White, your damn motion offense worked when Kaitlyn ain't here, but when Kaitlyn's here, we need something else, dog.
Just clicking, but now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much.
Y'all heard her. She said we got to have a new offense.
And perhaps most damning of all, they rarely adjust. When things go south, they go silent. And Sophie wasn't done. In the post-game interview that now feels more like a manifesto, she added, Clark is elite. I don't care what anyone says. She's a problem to guard. But if your only offensive plan is to let her freelance for 40 minutes, you're not building a championship culture. You're burning her out before she even has a chance to grow. Those words stung. Because they came with truth.
Day to day and stuff that worked here, we need to carry it over to tomorrow's game. We have a lot of games coming up in I think like 7 days or whatnot. And so it's, I think all of us just want it now. We know what the potential of this team can be, but we can't think about that. You really have to take day at it. I think What we can hang our hat on is not getting outworked, making sure that we're the aggressors, making sure that we're getting O-boards, controlling what we can control.
Kaitlyn Clark has had moments of brilliance this season. She's dropped dimes from impossible angles. She's hit logo threes that sent arenas into orbit. She's played through contact, through boos, through ridiculous expectations. But she's also been forced to carry a roster that doesn't seem to know what to do without her. Games where she's double-teamed? The Fever struggle. Games where she gets in early foul trouble? The Fever unravel. Games where the opposing defense just switches everything and dares someone else to beat them? More often than not, no one does. And that's the core of what Sophie Cunningham was saying. This isn't about talent. This isn't even about effort. It's about structure. It's about a coaching staff that hasn't given its players, including Clark, a system to thrive in. And that raises a bigger question. What exactly is Indiana building? The Fever's head coach has repeatedly said they're developing chemistry and laying the foundation for a long-term vision. But vision without execution is just fantasy. And when Cunningham, someone who's not even on the team, is saying the offense is designed to hope something works, that's a massive indictment of the process. Cunningham even went further, questioning how much responsibility the coaching staff was taking for the team's shortcomings.
Today, something has to be done with this basketball team and finding ways to close out these games and get these wins, bro.
We're trying to figure it out. We're all new. We have a new roster, but hopefully this one stays consistent and we can build off of it. How you kind of alluded to.
Again, she has re-exhilarated that they need to run a different offense when Kaitlyn Clark is in the game.
At some point, she said, you can't keep saying they're young or they're learning. That's a cop-out. Every team is adjusting, but the good ones adjust faster. You don't get to hide behind potential forever. That quote alone might live on in WNBA history because it cuts right through the heart of the Clark-era experiment in Indiana. It's not that the Fever are bad. It's that they don't seem to be learning. There are flashes of greatness, brilliant quarters, beautiful transition sequences, moments where Clark and Boston click like old teammates. But it's always flashes, never stretches, never full games. And if Sophie Cunningham, who's known as one of the league's most physical and vocal players, is saying it out loud, you can bet others are thinking it in silence. In fact, multiple analysts echoed similar sentiments after the Mercury Fever game, noting that Indiana's offense feels stagnant, uninspired, and painfully reactive. Cunningham's words may have been bold, but they weren't baseless. And the real danger now isn't backlash, it's apathy. Because if the Fever don't evolve, they risk wasting not only Clark's rookie years, but the trust of a rapidly growing fan base. A fan base that wants to see this team succeed. That bought in because of the hype. That tunes in not for moral victories, but for real ones. And if they keep losing in the same predictable way, that fan base won't wait forever. This isn't just a wake-up call. It's an alarm with sirens. When rival players start calling out your team's offensive identity, you don't brush it off. You either prove them wrong or prove them right by doing nothing. And right now, it feels like Indiana is leaning toward the latter. But perhaps that's the power of a statement like Cunningham's. Maybe it forces change. Maybe it lights a fire under a locker room that's been waiting for someone to say the thing they were all thinking. Maybe Clark herself, who's always been a floor general, takes this as a challenge to start demanding more from those around her and from the structure she's been dropped into, because if she's the face of the league, she needs a system that doesn't waste her. And if the Fever can't give her that, someone else eventually will. Cunningham's message wasn't cruel. It was honest. And sometimes, honesty is the most brutal weapon, especially when it comes from the outside, especially when it resonates. As of now, Indiana hasn't publicly responded to her comments. No fiery press conferences, no pointed tweets, just silence. And silence in this case speaks volumes. Whether that means they're reflecting or just ignoring the noise remains to be seen. But fans are watching. And so are players. Because the WNBA isn't a place where you can hide flaws for long. The league is too competitive, too smart, too hungry. Teams that don't evolve get exposed. And the Fever, despite all their promise and all their potential, are dangerously close to being that team. All it takes is one honest quote to spark a wildfire. And Cunningham may have just struck the match. Now it's Indiana's move. Do they double down on the status quo? Or do they take the criticism for what it is? A shot across the bow warning them that time and patience won't last forever. The future of their franchise player may depend on it.